Before I begin this piece, I just wanted to introduce the reason and rationale behind what I've chosen today. As all of us here are congregated as lovers of Imam Hussein and those who understand and sympathize and empathize with the oppressed, I believe it is our duty to recognize those who are oppressed in the land in which we live. And so for this purpose, I'd really encourage all of you to just be a little bit more educated on the oppression of two specific groups of people. The First Nations who have lived in this land for thousands of years, and African slaves who were brought here by Europeans. So I just wanted to talk about that before I begin. I guess we must have missed it, because it's always existed. Couldn't be broken down by those slave ships or shackle black hands and chain whips, because they struggled through it all, so from America's hand the blood drips. And I couldn't tell you how it feels or how black slaves survived, but I know the hate is still alive. It's just been disguised, proofread, revised, so don't be surprised to know hate lies dormant in their hearts. Because in this world, the color of your skin will always set you apart. But I guess America must have missed it, because it's always existed. It's in Malcolm's speech as he marched through the streets. It's in Martin's dream and letters from a Birmingham jail. It's why separate but equal would inevitably fail. But I guess Israel must have missed it, because it's always existed. It survived as olive trees burned and a wall went up so bombs could drop down. It stirs the heart of Palestinians who protest around their towns as the tear gas is launched by IDF troops aimed at unsuspecting youth. It's what stops me from drinking that Starbucks coffee. It's the reason I'm in the streets protesting a Zionist lobby. But I guess Columbus must have missed it, because it's always existed. It survived the silent genocide of indigenous nations, held the ground, never bowed down before a European occupation. It endured as they were rounded up and put in reservations, stole their culture and their land but never given reparations. It's the reason why America will never be the land of the free. It's in the heart of the Huron, the Mohawk, the Iroquois, the Cree. But I guess we must have missed it, because it's always existed. The resistance, the hope, the will to move on. The free-thinking optimist who knows its darkest before dawn. And this resistance, this hope, it's evolved over years, but it came from one place, where Muslims shed tears. It came from Karbala when Hussein asked for true friends. It started in Nainawa, but the resistance didn't end. It came from these warriors who saw tyranny and oppression. It came from Hor's lips when he gave his confession. The movement was started when Habib left in the night, when Zuhair gripped his sword and entered the fight. And as each companion went forth, he gave truth to the cause. So take a minute to think, just a moment to pause. If Hussein and his friends could sacrifice it all and bring the world to its knees, do you think today they'd be pleased to see the slaves and the graves, reservations and illegal occupations? Their gift was their lives, so resistance could survive. But we sit deluded because the oppressors are alive, and through ignorance they survive. Though Yaseer may have died, many take his place, extorting and scheming, lying, deceiving, silently slaying, then publicly stating, we did it for the betterment of humanity. But we remain complicit in their deeds because we refuse to act. The call went out 1400 years ago, but I guess we must have missed it, because it's always existed. Hussein's fight for justice. But have you enlisted?
لبيك يا حسين